vacation with Plexiderm. Try our summertime special and get it for only $14.95. Plus, get free shipping. Visit plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen. Investigate TV is here.
I feel like it's a form of voter suppression.
Digging deep into the topics that matter to you.
You almost seem speechless.
Watch Investigate TV.
Thanks for watching News 12 on your side.
From the station that's on your side, this is News 12, First at 5.
Well, parents and teachers are getting their wallets ready. South Carolina's tax-free weekend is now underway. What you need to know coming up next. But first, weather is a big priority as we head into the weekend.
Yeah, and thankfully the forecast isn't shaping up to be like what we all saw last night. First Alert meteorologist Riley Hale here. And Riley, temps are going up, but at least rain, it's not completely out of the question.
That is the good news, Mayor. It looks like rain chances do remain pretty slim for the rest of this evening in most parts of the CS area. And then into tomorrow, we're just not expecting much rainfall. We will welcome back some summer heat and humidity, though, so those temps definitely rising into the weekend. We are tracking some very isolated showers in the western CS area that will continue up until around sunset. You can see a little downpour over Mitchell, Sandersville. You're kind of splitting a few downpours there, rolling through northern Jefferson County. Rins, you got a quick little shower heading your way. But for us here in Augusta, Aiken, most of Columbia County, I would imagine we do stay completely dry for the rest of this evening and tonight. We even got some blue sky over Aiken County at the moment, and temperatures once again below average for us. Most locations are actually in the upper 80s this afternoon. It does feel like the 90s though when you factor in that humidity, so still kind of sticky outside, but luckily the heat's not too intense for most spots. We are up to 91 at Bushfield and Augusta, 88 in Evans, 91 up towards the lake, so there are a few spots hitting the 90s out there, but luckily just a little bit below average. Looking good for the Green Jackets game tonight. We are expecting temps around game time to be in the 80s, falling into the 70s, and once again, mostly dry this evening for the Green Jackets. We'll have an update on that weekend for you in just a bit. Let's get a quick update now on your First Alert traffic.
And now, First Alert traffic.
All right, take a look at our cameras across the region. We'll first go outside of our building here, looking at I-20 Riverwatch Parkway. A beautiful day outside. We got plenty of sunshine out there and not really seeing huge traffic impacts, so you're good to go if you're crossing the state line. Looking out at exit 190 here, Columbia County, Grovetown, Lewiston Road. Doesn't look like traffic's too bad there on Lewiston Road, and just kind of the usual backup for the exit there from that westbound lane. Have an update on those storm chances late to the weekend in just about 10 minutes.
All right, thank you, Riley. Tax-free weekend in South Carolina is officially underway. As of noon today, a number of products like school supplies became exempt from the state's 6% sales tax and any local taxes, but it is just for this weekend only.
And many parents and teachers holding out until this weekend to get some of those more expensive items on their back-to-school list.
Our Audrey Dickerber is live at the Walmart off Whiskey Road in Aiken. And Audrey, how many people have you seen out and about taking advantage of these deals?
Yeah, tax-free weekend actually came around the time it typically does, but to Aiken County school parents, it felt like it came a little too late, and that's due to year-round school starting. Around this time, stores are typically pretty busy, and lines are long due to tax-free weekend. I spoke to a few Aiken County school parents who wish they could have fully participated in tax-free weekend, but instead they already bought almost all of their school supplies since school in Aiken started a few weeks ago. 35 school districts out of 73 in South Carolina started before tax-free weekend even began.
I spent close to $200 with just 2 kids alone, and one's in 4th grade and one's in 1st grade, which is ridiculous. It's ridiculous for the pricing. Pricing is already high and outrageous. I mean, this definitely would have helped.
So far from what I've seen, the stores have not been very busy, but that could change throughout the weekend. Coming up on News 12 at 6, you'll hear how the start of tax-free weekend impacts families.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll start to see a lot of these stores get really busy, especially with a lot of our Georgia families crossing the river over into South Carolina too, taking advantage of that.
That's right. In a border state, Georgia can take advantage as well. Thanks, Audrey. A couple more things on tax-free weekend. The savings applies to both in-person and online shopping, and it ends this Sunday at midnight. So you have some time to get this. Items that do not qualify for the tax-free weekend include digital cameras, smartphones, jewelry, cosmetics, eyewear, and furniture. For more details on South Carolina's tax-free weekend, you can go to our website, wrdw.com.
Well, former President Donald Trump is appealing to try and get a Fulton County investigation against him thrown out. Right now, Fulton County's district attorney is preparing to possibly indict Trump on charges that he interfered with the 2020 presidential election in Georgia.
Last month, a judge rejected Trump's attempt to get District Attorney Fani Willis taken off of the case. Now, in the coming days, DA Fani Willis is expected to announce charges in the case. Starting Monday, the roads surrounding the Fulton County Courthouse will be closed to cars. Now, this is believed to be in preparation of protests in response to Willis's decision. The Fulton County Sheriff's Office saying safety is their #1 priority.
Off days are canceled. We are moving to 12-hour shifts, so you will see a lot of presence in this area. So hopefully everyone that has to come down here and conduct business, they will feel safe.
Hearing from the GBI as well, crews put up crowd barriers outside the courthouse. The magistrate court also chose to hold cases virtually this month. The district attorney says her office has gotten threats leading up to potential charges.
New at 5, a first look at video of a helicopter crash we first brought you as breaking news on Tuesday this week. This is out of Charleston County, where the sheriff's office's chopper went down. The pilot was the only person on board. He thankfully survived with non-life-threatening injuries and was released from the hospital on Wednesday. No word on what caused this crash, but authorities say the pilot reported some type of malfunction right before the crash happened.
More than $25,000 worth of grave markers and vases stolen from a cemetery in Camden. Now authorities are searching for the people responsible, and a community is wondering why somebody would do something like this. In total, 47 bronze vases, 2 corner markers, 2 companion markers, and 1 nameplate are now gone. One of those graves belonging to an infant.
It takes a major scumbag to come out here and steal something from a person's graveside. A deceased person definitely can't take it for themselves. So they're very vulnerable out here, and the families are the ones that suffer when they come out to visit and know that some scumbag's done taken something from their grave.
Authorities say those responsible will likely face a felony and misdemeanor charge, and if the stolen material is sold to a scrapyard, that would be another felony charge added on.
As the new school year begins, thousands of student athletes across South Carolina will get back into the full swing of practicing and competing.
Our State House reporter Mary Green explains how a new South Carolina law will better support the people who keep them safe on the field and court.
This new law requires athletic trainers in South Carolina be licensed, making this the 47th state in the country with this requirement in place.
What that does is allow for athletic trainers in the state to practice at the extent of their skill set. So the things that they've been learning and can do, they're able to provide that to their patients. And also it allows for a higher regulation for patient safety.
The approximately 1,000 athletic trainers in South Carolina are the people you might see on the sidelines of athletic events. And they also work on military installations and in industrial factories. Before, they had to be certified in South Carolina, but the state didn't have a licensure requirement. The South Carolina Athletic Trainers Association advocated for this new law, saying it won't change the education, training, and qualifications they need to have for this job, but instead how the state regulates them. Senator Katrina Shealy, the lead sponsor of this legislation, says she aligned with how this new law will help support those who keep kids and teens safe.
We want our athletic trainers to all have the correct license. We want to know that they're taking care of our kids. I know with my grandsons, I have a grandson that plays high school football. I want to know that somebody's, trained and has the right license.
This new licensure requirement will officially go into effect once new statewide regulations are in place. A process Fraley says could take around a year to develop. The State Board of Medical Examiners will meet on Monday to get this process started. Reporting from the State House, I'm Mary Green.
DHEC, which previously oversaw this regulation, says athletic trainers holding current unexpired certification remain certified under the new law.
Well, Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer continues to impress at the box office, but did you know there's a part of the creation of the atomic bomb that happened right here in South Carolina? We'll have that story coming up next. Riley?
And we are looking to stay mostly dry for the first half of the weekend, but by Sunday we're bringing back some storm chances. We'll have that full forecast coming up.
It's been 5 months since the groundbreaking here at the new North Augusta Public Safety Facility, and all new on News 12 at 6 o'clock. We're getting an update on how it's going.
Smile consultation today.
Go ahead and smile.
In Pickens, South Carolina, that's about an hour and a half north of Clemson. The National Weather Service confirming 2 EF0 tornadoes touched down last night. You're looking at video from one of those tornadoes. Both of them were very weak as far as tornadoes go. Several trees were uprooted in their path, and some buildings in the area also saw minor damage.
Pickens County Emergency Management says there are injuries from these storms, but no word on the extent of those injuries, though. Our first alert, Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale is in the Weather Center. And Riley, it was loud and a lot of lightning, but thankfully none of this was in our neck of the woods.
Yeah, we did not get a single damage report from storms yesterday here in the CSRA, thankfully, because there were many damage reports across central and north Georgia from those storms yesterday. The only thing we really saw was a pretty gnarly looking shelf cloud that rolled up ahead of these storms. So this is actually a time lapse of that. So you can see that shelf cloud just kind of rolling past our Grovetown camera. We had a lot of great viewer videos and pictures sent in of this shelf cloud all the way across the CSRA. So from Jefferson County all the way to Aiken. So some pretty intense storms, but luckily not enough to really cause any damage for us, just some beneficial rain out there. And we have cleared out those skies this afternoon. This is a live look over North Augusta and Augusta, and we're looking at dry conditions for the rest of this evening and to tonight, even a little bit of sunshine popping up there over SRP. So looking a lot better for the game tonight compared to the game they had to cancel out there yesterday. Heat index is in the 90s today, and we're going to continue that heat index climbing through the weekend, so we'll likely feel like 100 both days this weekend, and potentially even a little bit hotter by early next week. But a nice evening to be at SRP Park tonight if you are heading to the Green Jackets game. First pitch is at 7:05, and actually the first 1,000 fans that head to SRP Park tonight and get into the game, you get a free Sweetwater trucker hat. So there you go, show up early for that one. Mid 80s should be the temperatures there around 7:05, and then we'll gradually fall into the 70s as we head into later tonight. Once again, not really expecting much rain, so good to go. Not expecting to have a huge impact weather-wise out there tonight. Now here's a look at visible satellite. You can see we're actually beneficially seeing a little bit of a dry slide here across the central Savannah River. The showers and storms are staying kind of on the west and east of us. There are a few very hit or miss showers rolling through the western CSRA, but staying away from us here in Augusta. But if you're there in Rennes, northern Jefferson County, through Washington County, heading towards the southern CSRA, just a few pockets of tiny showers there. For our weekend forecast here in Augusta, we are looking at temperatures to be a little bit hotter for us, hitting the 90s both afternoons, and we'll have a little bit better opportunity for some of those storms by Sunday. Here's the way it's shaping up. So for the rest of this evening, once again, mostly dry conditions for us here around town. As we head towards daybreak tomorrow, we'll wake up in the low 70s, warm up into the low to mid 90s by the afternoon, and just not expecting many storms to really bubble up tomorrow. So I would imagine we do stay mostly dry for those outdoor plans. By Sunday, we'll have a little bit better opportunity for a few showers and storms to bubble up. Right now, the timing looks to be mainly kind of later into the afternoon through around sunset, and nothing that really looks to impact a large portion of your Sunday. So even though the chances for rain does increase Sunday, not necessarily anything you have to cancel everything you have planned outside for. Here's a look at how those rain chances just kind of gradually stay isolated most days, even next week. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're just going to be in this very persistent summer-like pattern with heat, humidity, and the chance for a few bubble-up storms each afternoon. But we do look dry tomorrow. If you want to hit the canal or do any kayaking around the region, we're looking at temps to be comfortable in the morning time, and then just seeing those hot highs hitting the 90s later into the day. Here's a full look at that 7-day forecast. Once again, a better chance for a few storms by Sunday, and then we'll continue that heat, humidity, and chance of storms all the way through next week.
Well, we're used to it. Thanks, Riley. Almost 80 years after the U.S. dropped the first atomic bomb, Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer is in theaters, telling more about the man behind the project.
And as the movie continues to impress at the box office, there's a part of Oppenheimer's history right here in South Carolina. Dana Winter has more.
The The Montgomery building sits at the corner of Church and St. John in Spartanburg. And inside this building, a piece of history changing the world forever.
Who would have ever suspected that, that it would be right here in Spartanburg? The Soil Conservation District had a cartography division in World War II, and it was located at the top of this building. And there they developed the maps that were ultimately used. It was a top secret program, the maps that were ultimately used over Nagasaki and Hiroshima.
This is what the 10th floor looks like today. It's used for apartments and it's pretty modern, but if you look, you can still see some reminders of its past.
This picture from Spartanburg County Public Library shows people working inside the Montgomery building in the 1940s.
From the stories I've read, I don't think that the people working on it knew. They just knew they were drawing maps, detailed maps of these two areas. Understand that they were escorted in and out of the building every day during that time frame.
Signs outside the building pointing to its past.
On the other side of Church Street is the one talking about the Soil Conservation District and the cartography program that was here.
But David Wood and members of the Spartanburg County Historical Association sharing the story during tours.
You think of this, especially with the nuclear program being out, Los Alamos and all the other big locations where that work was done. So right here in Spartanburg has that connection.
Wood says the building's history with map making may be lesser known, but it's a key part of the city and our country's history.
And it's important for us as a historical association to make sure that people do have that connection to their community and really understand that. Even people who are new to the community and be able to just really understand what Spartanburg is all about.
And the Spartanburg County Historical Association offers walking tours once a month. There you can learn more about the Montgomery building and other parts of the city's history.
Push, pull, and pedal. A couple says their new gym is changing the lives of seniors. How it works, next.
With rights, rely on Ramjet.
A South Carolina couple revolutionizing how seniors work out.
Lauren Korn shows us inside Push, Pull, Pedal in Little River.
Okay, go kind of slower on your motions.
Pushing,
Go a little slower.
pulling,
We don't need much weight.
and pedaling for progress.
Don't feel intimidated by, these nice young hot bodies that are still out here.
You won't find fitness models or full-size mirrors here.
Which is a good thing.
How you doing, Susie?
Just Greg and Brenda Hoffman training their peers at Push Pull,
So Jim's going to do 10 pushes.
a one-of-a-kind gym founded by seniors for seniors.
Because I've never stuck with anything like exercise programs for very long. So this is a record.
Looks like you're about there today.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Good.
Susie Katusak is working to improve her strength and balance.
We'll keep stepping.
After suffering a stroke 6 months ago,
They encourage you to go at your own pace. Keep challenging yourself, but you're not expected to kill yourself in here, For one thing, you're not lifting weights, which I think can be, if you're not done properly, they could be damaging, especially at my age.
the fitness center tucked in the back of a strip mall plays nothing but oldies. While folks work out on zero-impact air-powered machines designed to give you a full-body workout.
This is all easy, subtle, it isn't affecting your joints and tendons and connective tissues.
You can adjust the weight 1 pound at a time, so you don't have to go up a lot at one time. You're going to do a good workout today.
Jim Johnson says he enjoys testing his strength and seeing the results.
The doctor said my cholesterol was better, my blood pressure was lower, and I truly believe it was all because of the workout here that we saw those improvements.
Making friends is just an added bonus.
You have people who are seniors in your own age group, so it's really like a social club almost. Works out well. That's pretty good.
The Hoffmans opened their specialized gym last year, wanting to make a difference in the senior community.
So our goal is to make it to where people stay independent. There's
working in the yard, walking the dog, playing with the kids. None of that builds muscle. The only way to build muscle is resistance training.
Now, the couple who created the gym say hearing how they've impacted the seniors around them brings tears to their eyes. Cool stuff there. Riley, age is just a number.
It absolutely is, and the more you work out, the lower that number gets for you, at least how you feel at least. Hey, we do have the chance for some rain later this weekend, but make sure you're getting rid of any standing water around your patio. The mosquito meter is running the extreme range all the way through the weekend. I'm going to look at that forecast for you just after the break.
No matter where you live, no matter where you are.
Live look outside of our building, looking at a lot of sunshine overhead for us here in Augusta, and we do look dry for this evening. If you have any plans, temperatures are a little bit hotter today. We're up to the low 90s right now here around town, but feeling like the upper 90s, so still pretty humid out there despite a northeast wind that's pretty steady around 5 miles an hour. Here's a look at our first radar network. You can see this rain is moving in from the northwest and diving towards the southeast, and it looks like it is going to stay away from us here in Augusta in most of our South Carolina counties, but there is going to be the continued chance for these hit or miss showers over the next couple of hours for mainly the western CSRA. Any plans tomorrow? Looking good to go. It is going to be hot and humid. We're going to wake up in the low 70s, afternoon highs, low to mid 90s. Feel like temperatures likely will be back close to 100, but luckily not much rain in our forecast tomorrow, so looking good for outdoor plans. There's a slightly better opportunity to see a few storms late to the day Sunday, and then we'll continue with our August weather all the way through next week. Stick with us. We're going to have much more coming up on Live at 5.